There's more for National Science Week on Thursday. Italy is the destination for another local.
300 booths, from companies to universities, government agencies to research institutions. Even the British Met Office is here demonstrating state-of-the-art computer systems. But how was I going to find the experts in a place this size? I stationed myself in the busy reception area and waited for them on the way to the conference.
There's no question about that. This phenomena, this oscillation in the atmosphere ocean that occurs every 3 to 7 years, occurs aperiodically. The last big one was 1982, and we didn't even know it was going on until it was almost over. As a result of the devastating weather patterns that it set up in the United States and in South America, we put together a major program that lasted over a decade to totally instrument the equatorial Pacific with data buoys that measure the surface temperature, the currents, the salinity, and even temperature to a half a kilometer depth across the equatorial Pacific. That information, all the research that's happened since then, gave us enough information that in January of '97 we were beginning to identify the beginning of this El Nino. We were able to predict its occurrence solidly in March, and by April and May we were identifying the fact that this was going to be one of the biggest ones on record.
El Niños have become more frequent since 82, 83. We've had 4 events, with one major cold event in between. The thing that's missing is the cold event following the warm event. We used to go El Nino, La Nina, El Nino, La Nina with monotony. We haven't seen the La Ninas.
We can show pretty convincingly that the current El Nino is in fact impacting on temperatures over Europe. The current mild and rather stormy southwesterlies we're getting over Europe, according to our computer models, are an effect of El Nino.
The tropics is where you see the strongest El Nino impacts, generally speaking, and every El Nino since 1972 we've seen below average rainfalls occurring in that part of the world, Indonesia, Malaysia, Papua New Guinea. Also, we have seen forest fires in past El Nino events in that part of the world. It was exacerbated this time because the El Nino was so intense that the conditions were very, very dry, and also changes to agriculture and forestry and so on.
We're actively now recruiting other nations to join with us, to train their scientists to apply our data regionally so that they can they don't have to buy the satellites, they don't have to buy the big computers, they can share with us that information, but the trick is applying it regionally. We've had great success in northeast Brazil, we've had great success with the Australians, and we hope to do that on anywhere, especially countries that have a dominant agricultural economy. We can prevent those big dips in their agricultural output.
As a result of doubling CO2, does El Nino become more frequent? Does it become more intense? Does it become less frequent or less intense? Because these things will impact on global temperature, because El Nino impacts on global temperature.
My theory is that if you accept El Nino as Mother Nature heat transferring, warm water from the Western Pacific to the Eastern Pacific. It's a bit like in your home. If you're forever at your thermostat and having to back it off because your house is too warm, your thermostat's not working. It's not cutting on and off like it should. So we're starting now to think that if this frequency of El Ninos with the disappearance of the La Nina with the cold event suggests there's more heat in the global system. So perhaps these El Nino events, the frequency and severity, are being enhanced because of more energy in the global system, which translated roughly is global warming.
All this week I've been looking at global warming and seeing the effects that it might have on the human race and plant life. And there's no doubt that the humans could well adapt to the changes that we see in temperature over the next 30 to 50 years, even if it means that in some places they might cocoon themselves into buildings where they almost totally control their environment. As far as plants are concerned, I think that might be a little more difficult. I've been looking at the El Nino effect too, and again there's no doubt that it does affect the climates of the world. And we're seeing the El Nino more frequently than we've ever done in the past. And I'm beginning to suspect that there is a link between El Nino and global warming. But certainly there's a good deal of work yet to be done on that subject. And I'm sure that the Weather Show will be revisiting that in the future. Well, that's it from me. Bye for now.
Looks like your mum sent you one. She sends me one every year.
Birthdays are a time to feel special.
You're on summer, aren't you?
No!
You don't come to my training sessions when you're out your head. Go on, get out.
To feel needed.
You're slinging me out. You're not just going to stand there and let him.
To feel loved.
This isn't my home, is it? I don't belong here. My own sister doesn't even know who I am. I've had enough, Joe. Enough for what? Everything.
Playing the field. No! Sunday at 9:05 on BBC One.
G'day. Animal Hospital's back for a new series and we're at a new home, the RSPCA Animal Hospital in Putney. And we've got cases galore. George the cat who swallowed a needle and thread.
I can't see a needle in her mouth. That doesn't mean that she hasn't swallowed it.
Bertie the goat who had an argument with some railings in Brentford. And a badger returned to the wild after a nasty road accident. Join us here in Putney tonight, 8 o'clock, BBC One.
The long arm of the law seems to be breaking the rules in Ironside on BBC One in 25 minutes. That's after a spot of bother in Ramsay Street.
Neighbours, everybody needs good neighbours with a little understanding. You can find the perfect blend.
Well, I got this idea about buying old weatherboard houses and, fixing them up and making this amazing profit. I could make a mint.
Well, this would be perfect.
Why, are you interested?
You bet. Look, I'm only working here because I sold my business.
Oh, great!
We've got to get rid of that magazine before anyone else finds it.
Hang on, we have to enter the competition first.
What competition?
To find the perfect couple, didn't you read it? I think we should enter.
Just got off the phone from Amy. She's coming around this afternoon, then she's staying the night.
Hang on a minute. Hey, can Billy stay too?
No! I'm going to wake up every morning from now on with another body on the living room floor, and once again, I will have to play the bad guy.
Well, you could just nip it in the bud before it gets that far.
How did you go with that fold-out bed, Lance?
Yep, fine. All set up in Anne's room.
Do you still want Billy over?
Well, sure, yeah.
Then you better give him a ring. Okay, we've got vanilla, we've got chocolate, we've got strawberry, we've got... Oh, what's that one? Oh, honeycomb macadamia.
Just make sure you clean your teeth after eating all this junk, thank you, young lady.
Hey, Mum, what is with all this stuff? Well, what's a slumber party without you lot stuffing your face?
Slumber party?
Yeah, you wanted Amy and wanted Billy, and I didn't think it was fair for Hannah to miss out.